Hi, all the signs of the zodiac. I'm Pam, the Lucky Mermaid, psychic, seer, and modern mystic, bringing you psychic predictions and messages from my spirit guides for this mid-month psychic tarot update for October 2025. Please be sure to watch your sun sign, your rising sign, and your moon sign to get a more clear and complete picture of what's to come for you in October and perhaps beyond, because timing will be different for all of you in these general readings. Remember, sometimes your rising sign and your moon sign will resonate more for you than your sun sign. And if you're born on the cusp of your sign, sometimes your psychic predictions and messages are coming to you from there, so you may want to check that out. So, all that being said, now on to your mid-month psychic tarot update, and I'm starting with the sign of Aries. And I just want to let you know that you may want to stick around to the end of the reading to see the picture of Max, because a lot of people like to see the image of Max and his snoring. So you hear him a lot, not all the time, but if you want to check that picture out, it will be at the end of the reading. So the first card you have, Aries, is the King of Rods. And the King of Rods is a fire sign person. It could be you, Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius, sun sign, rising sign, or moon sign. You may feel like you're bumping into things a lot. That's a weird message, but I hear like you may feel like you're bumping into walls, or even bumping into people. So you could be having problems with your equilibrium or your vision, or you could just be bumping up into them like accidentally, or maybe even in opinions. You may feel like you have lost something and you want to regain it back. Maybe your memory or balance or something to do with your health, but you may feel like you've lost something, and I feel like it has to do with you physically. Maybe, it's something to do with aging, health, emotional balance, stability. It could be many different things. But you may feel like you've lost something like that, and now you want to regain it. You may feel like somebody is messing with your position of power, and you may feel like you don't like that. Like you want to keep what's yours. You want to hold on to what's yours, keep what's yours. And you don't want anybody messing with your power either. So if somebody's like trying to I don't know, like they act like you got power, could be at work, could be in a family situation, could be in a club, group, or organization you belong to, where they're like, oh yes, Aries, here, you have the power, we're listening to you, you're in charge. And then the next thing you know, they're acting like somebody else is in charge and you don't have the power and you're not the one running something. So you could feel like, and it could be, like I said, it could be at work, it could be a family situation where people are like acting like you have it, then taking it away, and then acting like you have it, and then taking it away. And you may feel like you're on this kind of like, you're getting sucked into it and then you're getting let go of it. But you get sucked back into it again. And very likely it could even be, like I said, if you belong to any church or a certain type of club or a group or organization and they wanted you to be in charge or a leader or take a leadership role, and then they kind of pull it back away from you. You could see that. So you got to figure out, Aries, where is this happening? Where power is given to you, then seems like it's receded or taken away and given back. The next card you have in the reading is the Eight of Pentacles. And this is a card that symbolizes the card of the apprentice, learning a new craft, learning a new skill, starting a new job, starting a new business. and gaining financial gain and reward from whatever you're working on. This could also be focusing on craftsmanship and attention to detail. You may feel like you got to do more because you want to stay on top. So where is that happening? Maybe you make videos, and there's a lot of competition out there in, video world anymore. Maybe you feel like I got to do what it takes to stay on top. It could be in the field of endeavor that you work in. Maybe there's a lot of competition or businesses or people doing similar things as you, and you feel like I got to keep up with the competition. I got to stay on top. Some of you may be very focused on, I want to get out of this debt. I don't want to have all this debt hanging over my head, or wanting to pay things off, wanting to reduce debt, pay things off. Some of you may even feel like you want to take a part-time job, or work more hours, or take on more clients and customers. This could come up for some of you if you feel like you want to make more money, you want to get out of debt, you want to stay on top of your bills, you don't want to get buried by them. Some of you could get a jump on something that you saw on the internet or you recently learned how to do, and it could actually be or something you saw that like inspires you in October, maybe even going into November, where you're like, you know what, that's a great idea. That person really is, that's a good thing to do. Maybe you can incorporate what they're doing or an aspect of what they are doing into what you are doing to help like zhuzh up what you're doing, fluff it up, make it more interesting, exciting. So you could be implementing new ideas that may have caught your eye in something you were watching, or somebody you heard about, or something that just came across your path and you're like, I need to incorporate that into your business you're running, or the job you're doing if you work for another business or company. Could even be something you want to do to your own home and environment. So it could be there also. So I hope those messages were of help to you, and I hope they made sense. And please hit that like button if you do like this video, because it will help the algorithms and help this channel grow. And sometimes there's a hype button. So I've seen it pop up. It's not all the time on other people's videos I watch, but when I see it, if I like the video, I hype it, and then you hype it, and then you click after that, and it hypes it up. And I do see some people must have been doing it, because all of a sudden I start seeing my videos pop up again on the feed on YouTube, and I'm like, hey, I haven't seen that in ages. So thanks to you guys that are hitting the like button and hyping my videos. I do appreciate it. So now on to Taurus. Hi, Taurus. So the first card you have is the High Priestess. And this is something being kept secret or hidden. You could be keeping a secret, or something could be kept hidden or secret from you. This could be a high spirit guide coming in to give you a message. It could also indicate psychic ability. You could be the High Priestess. Your psychic ability could be increasing in the month of October. I feel like you got your own situation here that's brewing. That's how my guide said it. And that it's actually looking good for you. So it could have to do with some kind of like promotion, or that you could be doing yourself, promoting yourself, your own work, your own business, but it could be some kind of promotion a company or business you work for is doing that would affect you. You could be promoting your own stuff, or somebody else could be promoting you and your work. Some of you may feel like you need to educate yourself more, and you may want to take some classes or go back to school. Maybe you want to get an advanced degree or some kind of certificate or a training program of some sort may be interesting to you now. You may be thinking about that. If you are the owner of your own business or have a high position, I get like working up a new format, a new program. It could be something you're going to sell. Maybe you're good at that and you could sell this format or program to other businesses or companies. Could be your own business, you're developing a new format. Could be if you work for another business or company, you're developing a new format that could be beneficial to the company or business you work for. You may let other people look at it and analyze it or give feedback before it's released to the public. So you could run it by somebody or a couple of people, like as a test. Could be your friends, it could be your family, it could be people you work with. You may be like, okay, I'm running this by you. You let me know. Is it user-friendly? Is it a good idea? Do you think this is beneficial? So you could do some kind of test run. You could get involved in a club, group, or organization that could really be interesting, could travel. You could travel with this group. Or you could just be could be a book club or something that involves expanding your mind and learning about different places if you're not actually traveling. The card you have with it is the Sun, and this is the spotlight being on you, success in the material world. It can also be the birth of a child or happiness, joy, exuberance of childhood happiness and joy. So you had two major arcana cards here in this update. Something you were waiting for finally gets approved. It could be at work. It could be in your town. You could be starting your own business. You may have needed some kind of certificate from the state that you live in, like a license, a business license, some kind of business registration number or something that now you can start your own business. Maybe you were waiting for that. Like, okay, I filed all the paperwork. Now I'm just waiting for, you could have formed a corporation. You could have formed an LLC. This could be a time where you are scavenger hunting. You may go someplace and you're like, wow, there's more to see. And it could be like flea markets, yard sales, could also be estate sales, auctions. You may travel to go see some of these. They may not be right in your neighborhood. This could be out of your neighborhood. Or if you're traveling, you may go to flea markets, yard sales, and things like that where you are traveling. Because I feel like you're like, there's more to see. And you may be looking for some specific items, like maybe to decorate your home or for holiday gifts, or maybe you collect certain antiques. Maybe you're going to like thrift stores and stuff too. Because I definitely I hear the collective consciousness of Taurus going, there's more to see. And like, you're like, scavenging, looking for stuff that holds a special interest to you for whatever the reason. If you go to a party, gathering, or celebration, you will be making your presence known, Taurus. Like, you may be whooping it up, drinking, dancing. Maybe you're going to get up and sing. You could be the party central in October. Maybe you're going to a Halloween party. I can't forget that because, Halloween parties are still popular. So they haven't gone out of fashion. People do love to party and get dressed up in costumes. So maybe it's there. Maybe your costume is going to be like, you know, freaky deaky, and everybody's like, whoa, look, that's a cool costume. And you're like the belle of the ball there. So I hope these messages were of help to you. Now on to the sign of Gemini. Hi, Gemini. First card you have for mid-October is the Two of Pentacles. And this is weighing your options, having to make a decision or a choice between two things. It could also indicate seeking balance. And emotions could be tied up here in this, you know, seeking balance, decision making, and weighing your options. There could be a contract or something that you want to get out of that you're in. And you're like, I don't know, could be a lease. Could be like if you're leasing an apartment or a condo or a car. It could be some other type of contract. Could be a business contract, or maybe you make a, you know, you sign an agreement for somebody to paint your house or re-roof, or, you know, could be buying a home and, you know, you can rescind a contract within 3 days, I believe, in most cases. So it may be a contract like that that you want to get out of. You may be really paying attention to this stock market or the cryptocurrency market or the housing market very carefully in mid-October going into November. There could be an option for you to buy somebody out or for somebody to buy you out. So if you're in a partnership in a business, or if there's an estate a family is trying to settle and there's a home and involved or other things involved, a business involved, a home involved, or other things involved, there could be people that you could want to buy them out, or they could want to buy you out. There could be a business or company that you're deciding that you think it might be better off for you if you leave that company, or you're weighing the option of whether to leave. Should I stay or should I go? But some of you may be thinking like, you know what, I think it's better if I leave this company. Maybe you feel like it's on shaky ground, or you don't like the direction of the company, or you feel like the owner is going to retire or quit, and you don't want the people that would like be the successors to be in charge. You may be like, oh, I don't want to work for them. Yeah, it could be something like that. There could be something that you own. It could be property or land or something else where the value is in question. So there could be like, what is the actual value of this? It could be your property that you own, but it could be like an investment of stocks or crypto or something else. So the card you have with it is Four of Swords, and Four of Swords came up also for Virgos. So you and Virgo both got Four of Swords, and Four of Swords is a card that is a pause, a meditative state, a recuperation from an illness. It can also be prayer. There could be something going on, and you may feel like, I want to stay out of the limelight, or I don't want to get in the mix of that, or I want to be like, because I get that vibe. Like, you're like, you might not want attention focused and drawn to you. If you've had any kind of sickness, you may want to lie still, especially if you've had pneumonia or anything to do with congestion or trouble with breathing, or if you've had any surgeries. Because I get some of you may feel like, I have to lie perfectly still. I don't want to wiggle around or move around a lot. And I feel like it's health related. Could be breathing, could be recovering from a surgery. I don't know, but that comes up here. You may be deciding like, I have to have more faith in myself. And what am I going to do with my future? And where am I going to land? So you may be like going within, you know, looking at your life and thinking of asking yourself important questions like, what do I want to do with my life now? Or, you know, do I want to move? Do I want to retire? Do I want to keep working in this position? Like you're asking yourself questions like that. You could be at a turning point where you're like, I see myself doing something different. You know, it could be a chapter changing moment for you where you're like, okay, I was in this career or I did this for a really long period of time and now I don't want to do it anymore. I want to be in a different position. Or I want to be working in a whole different, you know, maybe you want to go down a whole new road. But it's all about the future, what you feel is going to make you happy, it's almost like, what do I want to do on this next phase of my life now? So for some of you, it could feel like a chapter changing moment. So I hope those messages were of help to you and I hope they made sense. And please hit that like button because it does help get this video out to other people and can make this channel grow. And if you see the hype button, which is a new thing, I have noticed it did help get my videos out. So people were hyping my channel. So if you do see the hype button and you do like this video, hyping it does help. So thanks for that. And stick around at the end of the video to see Max, a new Max picture at the end of the video. So now on to the sign of Cancer. Hi, Cancer. The first card you have is Page of Pentacles, and this is an earth sign person, Taurus, Capricorn, or Virgo, sun sign, rising sign, or moon sign. It could be you if you have a sun, moon, or rising sign. That's an earth sign. Pages can be children. They can also be adults that are immature or young at heart. This could be a messenger also. It could be about money or emotions. Page of Pentacles came up 3 times in this mid-month update. So the 3 signs that got it was Libra, Cancer, and Capricorn. This could be somebody that you're kind of feeling sorry for them. You may be worried about them or feeling sorry for them. It could be a public figure, but it could be somebody that you're close to. This could also be somebody you're concerned about if you have kids or grandkids. You may feel like you want them to try harder at school. Maybe you don't think that their grades are up to par or that they're goofing off too much. You may feel like you want them to try harder. This could be a sibling to you. Some of you may have sibling rivalry with the Page of Pentacles, or the Page of Pentacles has a sibling that they are having sibling rivalry with, and you're witnessing it. This could be somebody you're hiring. They could be doing something for you, or they may want you to pay attention to what they're doing, and they may want you to help them. So this could be somebody you hire to do, if you own your own business, or to do work on your home. This could also be somebody you're connected to that they want your empathy, sympathy. You may feel sorry for them also. This could also be a student to you, or a child to you, or a grandchild to you that is learning from you. They could be watching you, like how you make this or how you do that. It could be if you have to train anybody at work, a new hire comes in and they're learning from you, watching you, so you could be training them. This could be if you own your own business. They could be an employee that is trying to learn from you. Or if you do any kind of tutoring or teaching or educating in some form or another, this could be a student to you. So you had a lot of different things come up here with the Page of Pentacles. You got to sort that out. So with it, you have the Four of Cups. This is ruminating, going within, overanalyzing, pulling at straws, worriment, worrying about the past. This could also mean being apathetic, not really caring about stuff. It can also mean that. There's some kind of opportunity or blessing that's going to come in, so you want to pay attention. You don't want to be going within so much that you miss the opportunity. You could receive some kind of a notification of something that you have to deal with or attend. It could be a court case. It could be to a party, gathering, or celebration. You may be thinking about money, how much money you make, what do you need to do? Is there any kind of changes you want to make in your investments or how you could make more money? And some opportunity could come through and be like, ho, here it is. Here's the part-time job I need, or here's a short-term job, like a little gig I can do and make some extra money. Or it could be a new job. A new job opportunity could come up for some of you. This could be like big decision-making time for you, or maybe I shouldn't say big, but mid-October going into November could be decision-making time for you. You may even need to console someone, but you may not feel like you're in the right frame of mind to do that. It could be somebody that's going through a hard time, or somebody that's got some kind of sickness or something, and you may need to show them care or kindness or being empathetic to them, but you may not feel totally up to it. You may feel like you don't have the energy to do that. You can't let anybody take advantage of you or trample all over you with your emotions. This could be bosses. This could be kids. This could be significant others. Like you have to make sure you stand your ground and stand up for yourself. Don't let people, like I said, like step on your toes, make you feel less than. Don't allow people to put you down or be critical of you. You should stand up for yourself, or at least internally. Know your own self-worth. Don't let other people dictate your worth to you. You may have a tendency to be self-critical in mid-October or going into November. So I hope these messages were of help to you, and I hope they made sense. Now on to the sign of Leo. Hi, Leo. So the first card you have of the two is Strength. And this card symbolizes having inner courage and inner strength, strength and courage over adversity, spiritual power over the material world, taming the savage beast in yourself or in a situation. It could even be dealing with a Leo, and you are a Leo. You may be evaluating things and getting appraisals and things of value. It could be antiques, it could be jewelry, it could be your home, it could be property, it could be other things. But you could be getting things appraised by professionals. You could be appraising things, looking into like what's the value of stuff you have and own, in case you need to maybe thinking of selling some of your things. You may also feel like I got to make an effort to stay home-based and in fact, and not allow myself to get sucked in or drawn into things willy-nilly by things you're reading or seeing on the internet, especially on X, but on any platform, doesn't matter where. But you may feel like, oh, I'm getting sucked down this rabbit hole. Oh, I've been getting sucked down that rabbit hole. Maybe you're like, you know what? I don't want to get sucked down any of these rabbit holes. You may feel like for now, at the moment, in the month of October, going into November, you may feel like, dealing with facts, dealing with things and not letting yourself get sideswiped or sucked down this lane, that train of thought, that, conspiracy theory. That one, like you may find yourself getting divided and getting pulled into too many different directions. If it's not about conspiracies and facts and things versus, conspiracy versus fact, or what is real and what isn't, it could also be other people, like family situations and family dramas could also be a possibility, that you're like, I don't want to get sucked down that rabbit hole or that rabbit hole with that one. You could feel that way. You may be really focusing on controlling your inner world. You may be practicing meditation or something else. Could be some other things that you're practicing that you're like, I have to stay centered. I need to stay grounded. I need to remain calm. You may feel like you don't want to, that you need more peace. Like you need more grounding, centered, peace, calm. Could be important to you right now. The next card you have with it is the Empress, which is a maternal figure that's crossed over to the other side, watching you, guiding you, and protecting you. This could also be a strong maternal figure in the living. Mother, grandmother, great-grandmother, someone like a mother figure to you. You could be the Empress. It could symbolize the birth of a child or the birth of a business, project, plan, or an idea. You could be challenging yourself to do more, to do something bigger and better. So you could be on a mission to challenge your own skills and work and abilities. You could get invited to attend a special gathering or a certain type of celebration that could circle around your mother or you. If you're a mother or a mother figure, it could be a mother figure to you. If it's not your mother or you, it could be a mother figure to you, or some kind of event that circles around motherhood. You could like do something that captures the attention of a lot of people, especially if you've been in any kind of like situation where you have felt like you were in jail, imprisoned, stuck, trapped, hemmed in. You may feel like you're busting out of that now, and that you want to create something of value. You could be extremely fertile at this time, so if you don't want to get pregnant, make sure you're taking precautions, because planting seeds comes up here strong. So, take precautions if you don't want that. But this could also be seeds in your yard, like grass seed. It could be plants. So you could be planting perennials, you could be planting seeds, but for some of you, it really could be fertility. I feel like some of you could gain some kind of knowledge that could help you if you are trying to get pregnant, or trying to increase your health and wellness. You could get some like really valuable information or insights of what you can do to increase those things that I just said there. So I hope those messages were of help to you, and I hope they made sense. Now on to the sign of Virgo. Hi, Virgo. The first card you have is Four of Swords, and this is a pause, a resting phase, a meditative state, a recuperation from an illness. It could also indicate prayer. And the other signs that got that was Gemini. So Virgo and Gemini got Four of Swords. I feel that some of you are finally making the decision to stop something you were doing. It could have been a job. It could have been a sport. It could be a relationship, but it feels more like something you were doing, some activity. And And it could be work or, like I said, something physical or a sport. You could notice that you have digestive issues that could crop up for you now. You could have an ulcer, or acid reflux could be kicking up, or like an acidy stomach. You could have issues like, or even get like a 24-hour bug where your stomach, is upset. Wow, that's weird considering what I just read in Leo. Some of you could find out that you're pregnant. Some of you may be taking out a lease on a new car. Some of you Virgos are going to get a substantial increase in your salary at work. If there's been any structure in your environment that's inhibiting you in some way, you're going to take it down. It could be a post. It could be a wall. It could be, I don't know, something that has been in your way or hindering your movement, either inside your home or outside of your home. I feel like you're going to take it down either yourself. It's like a structure. Could be a pillar, could be a pole, could be a concrete sculpture, could be, I don't know, something that's impeding you. I feel like you're going to take it down. You could have issues with allergies that could crop up for you this month also, because I pick up some of you could have issues with sneezing, allergies, could be a cold, but I get your nose irritating you. So the card you have with it is the Wheel of Fortune, the karmic wheels of fate turning in your favor. The planets in the heavens and the spirit guides around you conspiring to give you karmic good fortune. This card could also indicate a karmic cycle ending, a new karmic cycle beginning, and the ups and downs of karma. It could also mean good luck. The other sign that got that for this mid-month update is Aquarius. I do feel like if you need some kind of financial backing, you're going to gain financial backing. Or just getting more money. It could just be you're getting more money somehow. But if you need to gain financial backing from a corporation, a company, or people, I feel like this is the mid-month of October going into November that you are going to get it. Be a good month. I hate to promote gambling, I really do, but it could be a good month for you to play the lottery or, something like that. You could win. I'm not saying you're going to be the big winner. Don't come back and yell at me if you don't, and you only won $5. I don't know, but if you want to play the lottery, you might do well, or any kind of contests or games of chance this mid-month of October going into the beginning of November. Some of you could receive an inheritance. It could be a partial inheritance, like maybe the person that passes away has other people they're giving the money to or giving their things to. It might not just only go to you. Wow, your psychic ability is going to be on fire, and you're going to be really affected by and picking up on subliminal messages. Be very careful of the TV, the computer, your phone, devices. There could be an increase in propaganda or subliminal messaging going on strongly in TV, any of the places I mentioned, phone, internet, where they're trying to control not just you, Virgo. I mean, this could be going on for everybody, right? But I'm getting it in your reading, so you need to pay attention to it. You might want to stay away from try not to listen to commercials, or cut down watching devices and things like that, because I get subliminal messages is really coming strong and you could be affected by it. If you have to learn anything new, you're going to catch on really quickly to it, or something that would be good for you to learn or study will line up in front of you and present itself to you this month, where it's like divinely inspired, like something gets put in your path that would be good for you to learn or pursue. So pay attention to the signs, synchronicities, and symbols, because it's the divine source or the universe, whatever you want to believe, however you believe in, is like giving you this, putting it in your path on purpose. So take advantage of that. So I hope those messages were of help to you, and I hope they made sense. And if you're interested in getting my Spirit Animals Tarot Oracle cards and Jasper Crystal readings, they're available on Vimeo and Patreon. I haven't done a spirit animal reading for 6 years, and this is chock full. It's got 3 animal totem cards, 1 animal medicine card, 1 spirit guide card, and I read the Jasper Crystal Ball at the end of the reading. So they were pretty interesting. You may want to check those out. And also don't forget my psychic crystal readings for October of 2025 are available on Vimeo and Patreon. And you get more insights and messages than what you're getting right here in 2 cards. You may want to check them out. And those videos are available on my website at theluckymermaid.com. On the videos page, you can get the links there to Vimeo. And my Patreon link is also on the same page. And they're down below in the description box in the Show More section, the links to Vimeo and Patreon. If you want to get my videos on Patreon, you just go to the Shop tab. So I do appreciate it. Your purchases do help keep this channel alive and going, and hopefully the messages and predictions are helpful and useful to you. So I do hope you'll decide to check them out. So now on to the sign of Libra. Hi, Libra. And the first card you have is Page of Pentacles. And this is an earth sign person, Taurus, Capricorn, or Virgo, sun sign, rising sign, or moon sign. It could be you if you're born on the cusp of Virgo and Libra. This could also be you if you have a sun, moon, or rising sign that is an earth sign. Pages can be children. They can also be adults that are immature or young at heart. And 3 signs got the Page of Pentacles this month, in this mid-month. Libra, Cancer, and Capricorn all got Page of Pentacles. This could be somebody you feel like, I have to do everything for this person. Maybe it's an employee to you, and you're like, they don't know what they're doing. I have to do everything for this person. Or it could be one of your parents, or it could be one of your kids. Maybe you feel like they need to level up, or they can't do everything for themselves. So you may feel like you have to do everything for them. This could be somebody that's really insistent with you on having their way. They may want things to go their way. It could be your significant other, or it could be one of your kids or parents, and you're like, they're insistent that they have everything go their way. That could be kind of annoying to you. This could be somebody that wants you to listen to them, pay attention to them, recognize them. If you have grandkids or a child, or if you take care of kids, like if you have a little kid that you babysit, or if you do daycare, or you teach school and you teach little kids, or maybe even not little kids, because Page of Pentacles can be an adult too, where they want you to, like, you know, help them, pay attention to them, notice them. You know, they could be looking for help. They could be, it could even be like attention seeking even. This could be You could have somebody in your life that's an earth sign person that does a presentation. Maybe they sing on stage, or they're going to dance, or they're going to be in a play. Especially if you have little kids, they could be doing something for the holidays, like, or, you know, putting on some kind of performance or something. It doesn't have to be a kid, though. And you may be going to watch their presentation or their performance or their speech or their, you know, debut or whatever it is that they're doing. This, if you have to take care of a little kid, they could be like, catch me if you can, come on, play with me, blah, blah. It could be somebody that wants you to, you know, play tag with them or hide and seek, or, you know, want you to pay attention to them. So the card you have with it is the Three of Cups. That's 3 sisters, 3 females, 3 friends, help from friends. Could be attending parties, gatherings, or celebrations. You could be throwing the party. You could be attending the party. This could also mean a celebratory conclusion to something going on. You may get yourself out of some kind of boredom or doldrums and like get together with some friends or family members and have some fun. You could meet for dinner, drinks, coffee, whatever it is, but, you know, like you could be having some kind of, sorry, this is bugging me. You could have some kind of meetup with them for something that's going on. Like I said, dinner, drinks, coffee, a gathering. If you and your friends or siblings or whoever this is have some suspicion of someone, you could be putting your heads together and having a meeting of the minds and saying, hey, it could be like almost like an intervention, or you could be discussing a family member that you think is up to no good, or maybe they're not well, or maybe they need help. And you could be talking about like having a meeting, like we need to discuss what it is we're going to do about this person or this situation. So it could actually be a meeting to discuss somebody that you have concern about or that you are suspicious of. It could even be in that direction. You could also be talking to people about starting a new business or collaborating in some way. Maybe you have a video channel and somebody may want to collaborate with you, and multiple people could be doing it. Maybe it's not just you and one other person. Maybe it's going to be like a trifecta there where 3 of you are collaborating. But it doesn't have to be on video. You could be collaborating to do some kind of event or some project or something that you want to start, like a business or something that you want to work on. It could be a meeting of the minds, like a collaboration. So I hope those messages were of help to you, and I hope they made sense. And please hit that like button if you like this video. It does help the channel grow, and it does help the algorithm and gets my videos out there to meet more people, you know, to come see what I'm doing with this channel here, and it would be greatly appreciated. And if you do see the hype button, sometimes I know you only get limited amounts of hype in a week, I think, because I tried to hype somebody and they're like, nope, you used up all your hypes. So I don't really know how it works, but I did see my videos get out there more after some people said they hyped it. So please hit like and hype if you can. Thank you. I do appreciate it. So now on to the sign of Scorpio. Hi, Scorpio. So the first card you have is 8 of Rods, and 8 of Rods is news coming to you swiftly. Swift or sudden change, long distance travel, the arrows of love, and it can be just communications going back and forth between you and someone. You could be involved in messaging people or some kind of message board you could be reading. Or if you have a channel, you could be commenting back to commenters, messaging people back. If you own a business or work in a company where you have to respond to emails and you get messages or text messages or messages on LinkedIn or some other kind of area or platform, you may be needing to engage with them, respond to them. There could be somebody you're trying to help out this month, and it could be you want to give them some money. It could be a GoFundMe that somebody started on, Facebook or wherever, you can start a GoFundMe. I think it's done through Facebook, but it could be somewhere else. But you could be trying to help somebody out, donating money, or it could be a person you know personally. You may be trying to help them out by giving them some money. There could be some kind of legal papers that you have to look at, could be documentation, or could be court papers, court documents, legal papers. And it could be something that you need to respond to. Like you could get it in the mail, you maybe need to read it over. Could be something that requires your signature that you have to then send back. If you work at a company or a business, you may find like you have to keep repeatedly going back to the office for something or to that business. You would be like, okay, I'm done driving home, You get home and you're like, oh no, I have to go back. And it could happen a few times, maybe over a couple of days, or it could all be on one day, but I get having to go back maybe a few times. You're going to notice that you're going to start seeing things in threes. You know how things like that can happen when they say people die in threes, but it can also be other things in threes. So look out in the midpoint of October going forward. You're going to see a lot of threes pop up over here, over here, over here. So the card you have with it is the Four of Rods. This is could be about a marriage, could be getting married, could be attending a wedding, throwing a wedding for somebody else. This could be a party, gathering, or celebration you're going to attend. This could also indicate success in springtime. These Eight of Rods could be an invitation to a wedding. You may be getting that kind of communication. Some of you are going to start to become interested in somebody that I feel initially you met them online. It could be a dating app, a dating site. But I feel like you become, like you're talking to them more, you're becoming more interested in them. Some of you that have been dating somebody for a while or a serious relationship, there could be a proposal. There could be an engagement to get married could happen. Or you could elope and get married. But I do get like engagement, proposal. My guides are bringing that up. If it's not happening to you, this could be happening to somebody you're very close to in your life, like a son, a daughter, a grandson, a granddaughter. Or if your parents are split up, one of your parents could be getting remarried or getting engaged if it's not you. Some of you could be getting ready to attend a family party or gathering. It could be a wedding. If it doesn't happen in October, I feel it's happening in very early November. And you could be thinking about something you want to do or contribute. Maybe you want to pay for the flowers, or maybe you have some kind of expertise. Maybe you're good at flower arranging, or you're a good, cake decorator or a baker, and you're like, I want to make their wedding cake as their gift, or I want to do the flowers, or maybe you're really good at calligraphy and you want to write out the note cards for, the place seating cards, or something that you may be really good at that you want to contribute to somebody's event in some way. Maybe you want to make a banner or a sign for them. So something to think about, Scorpio. So I hope these messages were of help to you, and I hope they made sense. And if you want to see Max, the snoring Boston Terrier, stick around to the end of the video because I have a funny picture of Max you might want to check out. So now on to the sign of Sagittarius. Hi, Sagittarius. So the first card you have is Knight of Swords, and this is an air sign person. Aquarius, Gemini, or Libra, sun sign, rising sign, or moon sign. It could be you if you have a sun, moon, or rising sign that is an air sign. The other sign that got this card is Aquarius. So you and Aquarius got Knight of Swords. You could be getting really motivated. And you may be motivated to dig deeper about something. It could be something going on out in the world. It could be something that you recently heard about or got tipped off about. You know, so it could be like just a subject that interests you, you know. But it could be something that you think is mysterious, or you want to get to the bottom of something. You may be really wanting to dig in, do research, find out more about it. Could also have to do with your health and well-being, or some kind of new technology, or healing modality or technology. You could be talking to somebody that's really picking your brain for information. Or like, you know, advice, knowledge, information. It could be an air sign person asking you for this. Some of you may feel like you are feeling a little competitive with an air sign person in the month of October going into November. And it's funny because Aquarius also got this card. So this person could be an Aquarius because they got Knight of Swords as well. You could be remembering something an air sign person told you that was, for some reason, it's coming up now. So this could have been a prediction or something they told you in the past, and it could be resurfacing and coming back up now. You could be concerned about regulating your hormones, or what, you know, things to do with your hormones, or something going on in your bloodstream. Could be sugar, could be other things, but I get like, or you know how like blood can show your liver function or other functions of things in your body. You may be paying attention to that kind of thing in mid-October going into November. The card you have with it is the Five of Swords. This is standing your ground, drawing a line in the sand, standing up for yourself, standing up against any gossipers, naysayers, or detractors. And if there's any battle, you're likely to win. There could be somebody that you have an argument with, could be an air sign person, that you are like, you know what, I can't keep arguing with you over this same situation or beefing about this over and over again. You need to leave. So you could be fighting with a significant other and you tell them that you want them to get out. Or it could be an employee, if you're a boss or a manager or a supervisor or an owner, and you keep going round and round with an air sign person, an employee, or somebody that you do business with, that you're like, I can't keep going round and round with this person over this over and over again. They need to leave. Or you may be saying to them, you need to leave. If anybody's been trespassing on your property, you may be putting your foot down and saying, you know what, this has to stop. And you could be putting up like surveillance cameras or fencing or electric fence or, you know, I don't know, some kind of surveillance equipment, alarm systems, fencing, electric fencing, anybody that's trespassing or doing something on your land or property that you don't like, you may be trying to put a stop to it, or you could be arguing about it. Like maybe a neighbor is infringing on your property, or, you know, I don't know, somebody's letting their dog crap on your yard over and over and over again, even though you put up signs and, you know, so there could be some kind of weird, like, trespassing or feeling like your property is getting infringed upon that you may have to stand up about, or put up surveillance equipment or fencing or something. You could be arguing with somebody where you want them to give back something that they either stole from you or borrowed and never gave back. You may have to, you know, confront them and say, you know what, I lent you that, or you borrowed this or that, and now I need it back. You're going to have to give it back to me. It could even be money. But for many of you, I think it's something else. I don't feel it's money, although it could be for some of you. So I hope those messages were of help to you, and I hope they made sense. Now on to the sign of Capricorn. Hi, Capricorn. The first card you have is Temperance. And Temperance is a card that symbolizes patience, needing patience, having patience. It can also indicate alchemy, where God is working through you in what you're doing, thinking, creating, or saying. So you may feel like you need to hold your tongue about something, where you're like, oh, I better hadn't upset the apple cart. I better hadn't say that, or it could start some kind of, you know, trouble. So I see you feeling like I have to hold my tongue. But I do feel like something is going on with a family member. Could be at work, but I really feel it's a family member that's really bothering you. Or it could be at a club, group, or organization you belong to, where you really want to say something, but you feel like if you do, this is going to spark, you know, you don't want to spark arguments or debate or too much conversation around it. You may also feel like, I got to get my ducks in a row before I say anything, because I might have to get out of here. So if you feel like your significant other is upsetting you, or a job where you work is like upsetting to you, and you really are holding your tongue, or you want to say something, you may feel like, I'm not saying anything till I got something else lined up and I got all my ducks in a row, because you could say something and then, you know, you could get fired, or you could quit, and you may not want to do that. If you have any little children in your life, you may feel like it's necessary for you to dig deep and find more patience. You could feel like little children, they could be your kids, they could be your grandkids, they could be neighborhood kids. Or if you teach, if you're a teacher, it could be other people's kids, that you may feel like, oh, I got to dig deep and, you know, find the patience within, because kids, whether they're yours or other people's kids, could be bothering you. You could experience heartburn, acid reflux, but heartburn or indigestion could be something that kicks up for you in October going on in November. Maybe it's something you always have, but it could be exacerbated then. Card you have with it has come up 3 times. Libra, Cancer, and Capricorn all got it. Page of Pentacles. So Page of Pentacles is an earth sign person, Taurus, Capricorn, or Virgo, sun sign, rising sign, or moon sign. It could be you because you are a Capricorn. This could also be a child to you, or an adult that's immature or young at heart, or a messenger about money or emotions. Could have to do with why kids were coming up in the, I didn't even notice that. Could be why children were being mentioned and needing patience with them in the Temperance card. You could have somebody finally getting something done that they should have done before. It could be a student to you if you're a tutor, a teacher, or a coach. It could be one of your kids. Or it could be an adult that's earth sign. Could be you even. Where something that should have been completed already finally gets completed. It could be a report. It could be some kind of paperwork, but it even could be like something like a home renovation that really should have been completed before. Now it's going to get completed. If you have a child that is in school, they could be having issues with spelling. Their spelling could be really off, or speech. They may have speech issues, or a combination of those things. If you have any child or grandchild or earth sign person in your life, or yourself, that you feel needs counseling, therapy, you may decide to do that. That could be speech therapy. It could be occupational therapy. It could be physical therapy. It could be psychological counseling and therapy of that nature. If you were hoping to buy something that you collect, or a home, or a new car, I get you may be waiting for prices to come down or improve, or something better to come along. So you, especially property, or even an investment of some type. But I feel like you're looking at something, but it's like you want to wait for something better comes up here. So hope those messages were of help to you, and I hope they made sense. And Capricorn, please like this video. It helps get it out to more people that maybe want to see psychic readings. It helps this channel grow, and it can definitely help with the algorithm. I do appreciate it. So now on to the sign of Aquarius. Hi, Aquarius. The first card you have is the Knight of Swords, and this is an air sign person, Aquarius, Gemini, or Libra, sun sign, rising sign, or moon sign. It could be you, right, Aquarius? The other sign that got this is Sagittarius. You may have to jump on board with something that you didn't expect that you were going to jump on board with. It could even have to do with like doing things that would be promoting you, your work, your creativity, something that you have that you want to sell. And you could be like wanting people to take you seriously. You may feel like, are you really paying attention? Are you really listening to what I'm saying? I want you to listen and want you to take it seriously. So you can feel that way about friends, family members. If you deal with the public, you could be feeling that way about the public. You may feel like it's really important in October going into November for you to grab people's attention, and to people to, again, listen to what you're saying. Pay attention to what you're doing. Grab people's attention. This could be just because you have an important message or something you want to share, and you feel like people aren't really paying attention, they're not listening, and you feel like they need to. This could be, to people that you want like the public, it could be your own family, it could be your friends. And you may also feel like there's certain things going on in your life that you got to get a jump on, that you may feel like, I can't let grass grow under my feet. I got to get moving. Maybe there's things around your environment you need to, upgrade, improve. Or it could be about, if you have your own business, that you need to upgrade and improve. For some of you, it could be health related. If your health has been, maybe your health hasn't even been bad, but maybe there's certain things that you're like, you want to maybe take better care of yourself, or, change your physician, or, anything to do with health could also be connected to this. So the card you have with it is the Wheel of Fortune, and the other sign that got the Wheel of Fortune is Virgo. So the Wheel of Fortune is the karmic wheels of fate turning in your favor, the planets in the heavens and the spirit guides around you, conspiring to give you karmic good fortune. It could be the ups and downs of karma. It could be a karmic cycle ending and a new karmic cycle beginning. This could indicate good luck is coming to you. Some of you get some kind of approval, or you get some kind of well-needed validation. You may even start to work out better schedules with your bosses, or with something you're doing where you have more time to yourself, or you get yourself on a better schedule or a better routine that is more beneficial to you. If you started a business or something else, you could really see monumental growth, and monumental growth could happen for you now in October and November. This could also be a month where you switch from one thing to another. Like maybe it's a phone carrier. You switch from one phone carrier to another. Or a diet. You were on this kind of diet, you were on it, and now you're going to switch and you're going to try another. It could be different products, like certain products. It could could be diets, routines, schedules, products, where or plans of some kind of plan you're on the phone or on the TV, or something you get and switch from one to another. And you're going to be happier with the switch. You can make a lot of headway with people this month. Public opinion might be high about you. If you have to do any kind of sales or do any types of presentations, they could go very well. And you could gain more clients, customers, a following. And if you had any kind of debt, or a specific debt that was kind of like hanging over your head, getting on your nerves, I feel you may clear that debt out at this time, and it'll lighten up and brighten up and free up your energy. So I hope those messages were of help to you, and I hope they made sense. Now on to the sign of, last but not least, Pisces. Hi, Pisces. The first card you have is the Queen of Rods. And the Queen of Rods is a fire sign person, Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius, sun, moon, or rising sign. This could be you if you're born on the cusp of Aries and Pisces. This could be you if you have a sun, moon, or rising sign that is a fire sign. There's a spirit of camaraderie, a spirit of cooperation, a spirit of unity, getting along, being on the same page as this fire sign person. You would have great motivating conversations and maybe collaborations with a fire sign in mid-October going into November. If you're single, this could be somebody you meet that could end up being a good love partner for you. This could be somebody that you spend time with and you do activities with. You could go to a baseball game or some other type of game. Is baseball still on now? I don't know if it's over yet. It goes way longer than it used to. Maybe it's done. I don't know. Or it could be a football game. You could go to some kind of sporting event with them or something else, some event. This is somebody that you could impress, somebody that wants to see you in action. So this could also be somebody that could potentially want to hire you, you know, like see you, like in the food business, you have to audition for your position sometimes, if it's a high position like a chef or a pastry chef. A lot of times they make you audition. Depends on the size of the place, if it's a big place. So, but it could be auditioning for a part in a play or a part in a musical or auditioning for a job. Somebody may want to see you in action before they sign on with you to do something. If you broke up with someone and there was clash there, the two of you are clashing, you could make amends and make up and come back together in this second half of October or going into November. The card you have with it is the Hermit. That's a card that symbolizes your spirit guides lighting the way, showing you the path to go, guiding you. It could also be, you could be the Hermit where you're taking a step back and getting a lay of the land before you proceed forward, but you're still being guided by your spirit guides. I feel like some of you Pisces are going to feel like, you know what? I've accumulated a lot of knowledge and now I'm going to do something with it. So you could see bigger strides forward in your career. You may even decide you want to juggle 2 jobs. You may also be making some kind of decision about making some kind of move or change in regard to your career or job. If you felt like your life was like not in sync, out of balance, I feel like it starts to come together more. Like you feel like you have more contentment, you have more peace, your life's more in balance in some way. You may also be reevaluating your stance and your position on certain things. It could have to do with political figures. It could have to do with religion. It could have things to do like with, you know, other countries, things going on out in the world. You may feel like it's time for you to reevaluate and reassess your beliefs, your positions on certain things that are going on in a more global, worldwide stage. But it could also be in your own life that you're doing that. You may even hear through the grapevine that things at a place you work or a club, group, or organization you're part of is certain things are going to be dismantled or breaking down and are going to be changing. That could even be in a governmental sense or something going on out in the world. You may hear something is like being dismantled, broken down, and changing. That could be, like I just said, out in the world. It could be at a job where you work. or it could be in a club, group, or organization that you're part of. So I hope these messages were of help to you, and I hope they made sense. As always, thank you so very much for watching. I do truly appreciate it. And thank you so much for liking, sharing, and subscribing. I do truly appreciate it. It helps a lot. It means a lot to me. I couldn't do it without you guys. So thank you so much. It does mean a lot that you watch these videos and you keep this channel going. And if you're interested in any of the special videos I record on very specific topics, bringing you more psychic predictions and messages, you can get them on my Vimeo on-demand videos and also on my Patreon shop. I've created a list you can read here on this slide. They are also linked below this video in the description box, and they're on my website, theluckymermaid.com, on the videos page. So I hope you have an absolutely wonderful and beautiful month of October, and know that I wish you many blessings and peace.